Hi, welcome to Learning Monkey. I am Vikram. In this class, we'll try to understand row measure order and column measure order. So this concept we have already discussed in our previous video. So in order to understand what we are going to discuss in this video, it is very important to understand our previous video. If you haven't watched that video, please watch that video and come back here. Without understanding what we have discussed in our previous video, you may not be able to understand what we are going to discuss in this video. And every video in our channel is going to be a part of entire course or a playlist. Our suggestion is to follow the entire course so that you can have better understanding of the concepts, and the link for the playlist is provided in the description below. And in this video we will try to understand the concept of row measure order and column measure order, and we will try to understand it. We will try to discuss this concept very slowly so that you can have better understanding of the concept. And if you didn't get the concept in one single watch, please watch this video as many times as possible until you get the clarity. The understanding of this concept is very important. Let's try to understand row measure order and column measure order. So here we are having a two-dimensional array, and the array is of size 2 by 3. The array is of size 2 by 3, which is m by n. Okay, so now means we are having 2 rows and 3 columns. So 2 rows and 3 columns. Okay, so the elements are this represents the first row, 1 2 3 1 2 3 and 4 5 6 are the second row elements. As we are having 2 rows, those rows values are presented here. In that way, this is the kind of visualization that the end user is having. But how the elements will get stored on the memory is, it is done in 2 different ways. Any one of the ways. Okay, one, it is to row measure order. If the compiler is programmed in such a way, it is considering the rows, the values in the rows, order of the rows. It is what we call it as a row measure order. See here, order of the rows 1 2 3. Row wise, if the elements are accessed or stored in the memory, it is what we call it as a row measure order. See here, 0 0 are the indexes. Here these are the indexes and these are the memory addresses. 50 to 54, 50, 51, 52, 53. These locations are used for, these 4 locations are used to store one integer. Integer size is 4. 4 bytes of memory is allocated for integer. So hope you have the idea of arrays and memory, which we have already discussed. Okay, so 50th location we are going to 50, 51, 52, 53. These 4 locations are used to store one, and then 54 is the base address of this location, 58, 62, 66 and 70. Now, based upon the row measure order concept, the values has been inserted, but as the end user we have only the visualization in this way. Okay, so what the compiler has to provide efficiently is, the user will always provide the values of the indices. For example, if he wants to access 1 0, if he wants to access 4, what is that he has to give? He has to give the row and the column junction point. So the first rows, first columns, 0th columns, the first row and the 0th column junction point is 4. So he is going to give 1 0 as the index. Whether it is stored in column, what we call it as, whether it is stored in row measure order or column measure order, it is not the concern of the end user. The end user will always will ask for this value. To get this value, he will always ask 1 and 0. But the compiler, it is going to store the values in row measure or column measure order. See how the column measure order is arranged. The column measure array, both these values are same? No, the arrangement is different. Here the column wise the elements are stored. 1 4, next 2 5, 1 4, next 2 5, next 3 6. This is how the column measure order, the values of these 2-dimensional arrays will get stored on the memory. Column wise the elements will get ordered, will get stored. Okay, even though it is column measure, row measure order or column measure order, the memory has to be Okay, so the memory address has to be fetched according to the user requirement. The user is asking for this element. Okay, in row measure order, how we are going to fetch that? How we are going to fetch that is, it is done by this formula. So what this formula is, it is I into n. I means it is I, this is I, and this is j. Okay, index values, and m by n matrix, 2 by 3 matrix. So the m by n values are, see here, m by n values are 2 by 3. Okay, I into n, I means it is 1 into 3 plus j, j means 0 into size of each element 4 plus base address. What is the base address? 50. So with this we are going to get 1 into 3 is 3 plus 0, 3, 3 into 4, 12, 12 plus 50, this is 12, 12 plus 50, which is equal to 62. Where this 4 is stored in row measure order, it is stored in a location called 62. So the point, the entire logic of this formula is there in this part. Okay, I into 3, what it means? Try to understand this point. I into 3 means, in order to access this element, we have to cross 3 columns. In order to access this element, because it is row measure order, we have to cross 3 columns, and after that we are going to get the element. So that is decided by this I into 3. I into 3 means, here the value of I is 1. 1 into 3, we have to cross 3 columns. 1 into 3 is 3 columns. So this 3 represents, 1 into 3 is 3. This 3 represents that we have crossed 3 columns. We are here. So we are in this row. In this row, what is the element? It is j. It is decided by j. What is the, in the, we are here in this row. With this I into 3, we are here in this row. 0, 1, 2. 3 means here. Okay. So now in this row, which element? Is it 0th element, first element, or second element? It is decided by j. What is j here? The value of j is 0. So 3 plus 0 is going to be 3. So there itself, the size of the element is 4. The size of each element is 4 plus base address is 4 into 3, we are going to get 12, and 12 plus 50 we are going to get the way in which the address where that value is stored. So the point that you have to understand is how we are crossing the elements. Okay, because it is row measure order, I into 3, I into n, n means it is 3 columns, I means index. So this index 1 index means, in order to come to this first row, we have to cross 3 columns. That point is very important to understand. I am stressing it again and again because that is very important point. Okay, plus j. So in that row, which columns element we are trying to access? We have decided, I into 3 has decided that we are in which rows element we are trying to access. Which rows element? This rows element that we have come across with I into j. Sorry, I into n. 3 columns we have crossed already. 3 columns crossed means we will be in this element, in this row. Okay. So this is very important point to understand. Similarly, we are using, we have this kind of visualization and we are trying to access this element by using column measure order. Column measure order is using, the value is stored in 54. So how we have to get that 54 address? It is, the formula is different. J into m. J means here it is 0 into m. M means M means it is 2. Okay, 2 plus I. What is the value of I? 1. So what this 0 into 2 represents is, so column measure order means, in order to get this element, we have to cross 0 columns. We have to cross this zeroth column, but this value is there in that value, there in that row itself. So in this column only the value is there. That is the reason why we are going to get 0 into 2 as 0. Means in the 0th column is the value is present in the 0th column itself. 0 into j into m. Okay, so if you are trying to access this element, for that we have to cross one column. But here we have to we are trying to access only this element, so we are in the column itself. So it is 0 plus I. So within that, which one? So within this column, which one? Is it 0th column, 0th element, or first element? It is first element, which is represented by I. So try to understand that logic. So 0 plus 1, which is 1. So this value is going to be 1 into size of the element 4. Size of each element is 4 bytes, and plus base address. Base address is 50. 50 into 50 plus 4, which is equal to 54. So in the 54th location, the value 4 is present. Okay, so this is all about how the compiler is going to store the two-dimensional array values. It may either use row measure order, or it may either use column measure order. Okay, the compiler, it is up to the developer to decide whether to use row measure order or the column measure order. Whatever the implementation, the visualization that the user should have is this matrix way. Okay, so anyway we can get the values. Okay, hope you got the clarity on this concept. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel and press bell icon for the latest updates. And if you have any doubts regarding this concept, please post your doubt in the comment section below. And if you feel that this video is helpful to you, please give us a like symbol, and please share this video with your friends so that they will also get benefited. Thanks for watching.